These are new glasses. These are new. What I expected was a quality product, but what I didn't expect was to look like John Lennon and Yoko Ono at the same time. Does that make sense? Like, the laughter makes me feel like I should return them. Should I return them? I feel like that's something that should happen. No, I am actually half Asian, half Persian. My mom is Filipino. For anybody who's confused, she's the Chinese one. She, it was growing up with an Asian mom. If you could imagine it, imagine all the cyberbullying you've ever had just materializes into this little Asian lady, and then she like does your laundry sometimes. That's the vibe at home, Like, I don't know if she loves me or not, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I'm getting older, so I'm trying to give myself affirmations. So I'm in the mirror like, all right, today you're a queen. You're going to kill it. And then I go outside, and my mom is like, Sashimi, you're turning into a little piggy, huh? And I'm like, Ma, I'm not fat. I'm thick, okay? Guys like that. With 2 C's. And she's like, whatever helps you sleep at night, huh? And then just keeps moving on to wash my whites. It's horrifying. It's weird. My mom is mean and my dad's dumb. That's what I got going on. Mom's mean, dad's dumb as rocks. Like, if you see us together, you see this big Persian dude, and then this tiny Asian lady, and then me. This looks like we met on Craigslist. This is not supposed to be happening right now. Like, like every time I go out with them drinking, I remember I get carded, and then I'll look at my parents, and then the lady, she'll look at my parents, my ancient parents, and she'll just be like, I'll go get your drinks, and then she just leaves. And then my dad, being the profound idiot that he is, he's just like, I don't understand why they didn't card me. And I'm like, well, maybe because you look like you were there when they barreled this whiskey. So they're just trying to not be rude to you, sir. You ancient piece of baklava. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah. They made a super weird kid. But I think, like, the worst part was my grandparents. Like, my grandparents, they're devoutly Catholic, and I look like this. What's up? So, there were issues in the house, Like, my grandparents, every time I would come home from high school with, like, a new hole in my face, my grandma would just look at me and just be like, Ay, sus Mariosep. Ay, sus Mario. Which means, like, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph in tiny Asian lady. So, like... they believed I believed in demons. Like, that was the vibe at home. And I remember one night we were coming home from Christmas, and it was late, it was cold, so I put the seat warmers on. I was like, okay, let me just, like, warm up the car for everybody. And I hear my grandma in the background, and I just hear her go, why is my butt hot? I was like, why is my butt hot? And I could have told her. I could have been like, Grandma, it's technology, there's a heater, it's built into the chair, but instead I just, like, leaned in really close, and I was just like, there's a demon, and I summoned it. And it was just real subtle. It was just, she was like, ay, sus Mariosep, which, I mean, rest in peace, Grandma. She was really nice. I didn't kill her. That's not what happened. Like, I didn't kill her. The demon did. All right, that's my set. Thank you so much, guys.
And so Eric was doing his interviews, and we usually do a bit before we introduce the guest, but he didn't do the bit, so now I don't think I should do the bit. Hi, welcome to Sunday Morning Sessions. This is your host, Dremagix, with our special guest, Sasha Sakha. What is up? First of all, I want to talk about this shit because it's hella hot and you wearing all black.
You know what? Like, I don't own anything else, if I'm being honest with you. This is all I have.
I also realized Eric pointed at me, and I'm also wearing all black.
I know. But, how you shitting on me and we're twins?
I'm not shitting on you. I'm just in a bad mood because it is hot, and I am medium rare right now.
Medium rare. You know what's crazy is, like, when I was in anthropology, like, the
store or the
no,
study?
not the store.
The study of the
is
dead.
Anthropology, like, is that like a Korean like style outlet? Like, what is
a Korean
that?
Study, a major in college?
Only Koreans study anthropology. No,
that's a good stereotype. That's a good one.
I think they don't give a shit, like, if I'm being honest. Like anthropology, when I was in it, like, they were saying that the closer that you get to the equator, like, the more hot that, like, you are, like, in the country that you live in, the more the crime rate shoots up. Like, that is a real thing. And I get it. Like, now it's fucking hot, and I feel like I could stab you. I don't know if I could. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Your face.
All right.
This is off to an aggressive start. This is like how
Why are
I
you
am.
so aggressive with me? I'm like the sweetest thing.
Well, first of all, you pressed me about what I'm wearing when you're wearing the same thing.
You haven't seen my socks.
They're black.
They are black.
They're
black.
black.
How
What
do
are you talking about?
God, it's so hot. How is the rest of the Addams family?
I hate. You know what? I get that so much
Do
more
you?
than you think. Like, yeah, like I have people who
They think you look like the.
Morticia. I either okay.
Oh, I was talking about the
Wednesday.
with the hair.
Wednesday.
Cousin,
Oh, you're talking Cousin It?
It.
How dare you? I only my legs are like Cousin It. I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
like if you were to put
Oh,
this, it would be that.
I would. Yeah. You know what? You're right. That's good. You know what? Now I have a Halloween costume. Now that's.
You're
that's what I'm
welcome.
being.
Stop being mean to me. Face. So we talked, and you're really big into horror games,
I love horror games. I love
So-
the whole horror genre.
just like prostitute vibes, like horror.
Well, I started out like if I were to go back into like where it kind of started, I started playing.
She didn't get the horror.
I totally glossed over that. Like I didn't even-
WHORE sounds like HORROR.
lit. So when I was younger, I'm just kidding. When I was like I started playing like Resident Evil and like Silent Hill at a very young age, and then that just like fucked up the rest of my future.
Yeah.
Like you can't go back from that. You know, when you start with like people being mutilated, like you don't go back.
Yeah, I feel
from
like
that.
you're in what age were you playing those games at?
I think I was like 12.
Yeah, and
like
then,
like 11 or 12.
You're at like 11 and you're in school, and you're like the kids around are like, oh, you want to see like a dead bird, and you're like, you can't unsee the things I've seen. You're like that fucking old war vet that is, this takes me back,
You know what?
and you're just like, this ain't shit, fam.
I think I realized I was really fucked up at a young age. Like I don't even think it was like just the Resident Evil and Silent Hill things. Like I think that like I was very numb to death, like period. Like even when I remember like instances when I think I was maybe 6, 7 years old, like a fish would die in my brother's like tank, and I would just be like, "What is this? Like, oh,
But
what's
that's
happening?"
like you're Filipino. You just like breakfast, dude.
Like, so are we frying this with egg or like
yeah,
what's
where's
gonna
the egg
happen?
and rice at, baby?
Yeah.
So you speak about? Were you raised predominantly Filipino or predominantly the other one you said?
Predominantly
Persian?
predominantly Filipino for sure. Like I was when I was younger, my mom made it a point to be like she's gonna be like super Filipino. Well, also because all of my family members are here
Mhm.
from the Philippines,
Word.
whereas my dad's side of the family they're all in Iran still.
Mhm.
So it's like I don't really have a lot of like relatives here from Iran. So I identify more with being Filipino.
Word. So do you, what's like the top 3 things your mother would say in the stereotypical Filipino fashion? You have to do the accent.
You know it sucks because my mom doesn't really have an accent. Like if you talk to her, she doesn't really have an accent because she's worked in customer service
Right.
most
Okay.
of her
So
life.
listen, my mom, she's really good at code switching. Like she doesn't have an accent,
Right.
but in my head, am I like, yo, am I just? Because I used to hang out with some Filipinos in high school,
Mhm.
and I was really good at code switching. Like,
Mhm.
oh shit, they're going to lunch, right? And then in class, I'm like, yeah, this x equals m,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
But like the thing is, I feel like if she's code switching, like she's doing the white lady voice the
At
whole
home?
time. The whole time. Like she doesn't like change up. Like I'll make fun of her in my act because it'll come out sometimes and I notice
Right,
it.
right.
But for the most part, like I definitely like see that she is very customer servicey and
Yeah.
everything in the way that she talks. So and she's also a huge like black sheep of the family.
Word.
Like she never was very like clean cut like stereotypical Filipina. She
Yeah.
was very much like like I'm a businesswoman and I'm the
Yeah.
head of this household, and like so there was not a lot of stereotypes there. Like she'll make fun of me for being fat. That's like probably the most stereotypical thing. I talk about that in my
Word.
act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah, like my do you ever think she just like gets into the room and she like shakes off all the coats and she's like, "Oh my god, it feels so good." You know what I mean? Like, cause yo, that's a really dope act. Cause you remember growing up in like middle school,
Mhm.
being a certain way, and when you're at home, you're just like, "All right, fuck, this is like the real me or whatever."
Right.
Right? But if it's like, oh, that's your whole life.
I mean, I like how like I don't know. It's weird because I'm also in customer service, and I think we both just defaulted to like really functional like ways of carrying ourselves that assimilated
Don't hit
into
our table.
American. I'm sorry, I didn't. I
That's
didn't
called
mean
breaking tension.
to. Yeah.
Also, where can we find you on the internet?
Oh, Dasakitty on Instagram.
So I also pronounced it weird. I was like, oh, Duskity.
The
Like,
ski.
skeet. Right? But anyway,
Yeah.
that's a kitty.
Dasakitty.
Dasakkt.
TIE.
So I said, you didn't listen to me.
We're not about to fight on this. Like, I know what my Instagram handle is, damn it.
Yeah, I know. You messed up my follow. We're done.
So I'm a huge nerd. I go to Anime Expo all the time. Is anybody else socially unacceptable? Unfuckable? Into tentacle porn? Is that just me? No? Into calamari? Alright, No, I don't know. I'm a huge... Like, I don't know. Like, whenever I go to Anime Expo, I always get the worst farmer's tan, you know? Like, so it'll be, like, Persian in the face and in the chest and in the arms. I'm just really Filipino. Like, I don't know what to do with this jasmine rice, burnt egg roll vibe I got going on. This is just not the kind of snack that I prayed to Cardi B for. All right. I don't know. I'm a feminist. That's annoying. To the point where I don't shave my leg hair, and I know that it's starting to piss people off around me, particularly my tiny Asian mom. She's not into it. I remember I'll be like lounging around the house with my shorts on, and she looks at my legs. She's like, "Sashimi, your legs." And I'm like, "Mom, I can't hear you over the sound of me being liberated right now, okay? I'm fine with this. I'm okay with this." And she's just like, "It's worse than daddy's." And I'm like, it's like daddy's. I don't think it's worse than daddy's. I think it's like about the same. For anyone who didn't laugh, that's just the silence of the patriarchy, and I reject how you feel. So yeah, dating for me was super hard because, you know, being a huge nerd. I remember, like, this is a true story. Like, me and this guy, we were, like, doing the do, and, like, guys like to perpetuate this idea that if a noise happens down there, it's gross. You know, like, oh, girls don't fart. You know those assholes. But I queefed. But it sounded like a quack. It sounded like a whole quack, just wah. So, like, now he's looking for this duck, and I am having a meltdown. And, like, with so much sincerity, I just, like, look him in the face, and I'm like, Affleck. And he's like, are you fucking serious right now? And I was like, yes, I'm sorry. I actually did work at a sex shop for, like, 2 years. I was there for a while. It made it super hard to date, though, because guys would always be like, nah, man, just gonna put something in my butt. And that's not, like, the only thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do other things to your butt. Alright, so I was there for, like, like I said, 2 years. I remember there was this one, you get a lot of customers, but there was this one lady, I'll never forget her. She just looked like a Carol, so I'm gonna call her Carol. And I hear the door open, just like, ding, ding, and I'm like, hey, miss, how's it going? Was there something I could help you find? And she was just like, oh, no, that's okay, that's okay. And I was like, all right, I'll be over here alphabetizing dildos. Let me know if you need any help. So I'm like watching this lady go timidly throughout the store because God forbid anybody knows you fuck. And then she finds herself at the fetish gear. So like the chains and the whips and I was like, oh my God. She's lost. So I go up to her and I'm just like, are you sure you don't have any questions? And she's like holding nipple clamps and she's just like, do you have anything more intense? And I was like, more intense? God damn, you animal, not here. But if you exit and you make a left, there is a Home Depot. I think that's more your speed. There might be a Lowe's. You could try jumper cables. I don't know what you need from me, lady. But that's it. Thank you so much.
What's up? This is Dre. That's Eric.
Hello.
Thanks for watching Sunday Morning Sessions with our special guest, Sasha. Sasha, she's really cool. She wanted to fight me, but she can't anymore because I'm too far and we're on camera. So,
You're too far. What did you say? Too far?
2 farts.
2 farts.
Yeah. 'Cause she had a quiff joke.
Oh, one time.
See how I tied that in?
Bumping mics. We're gonna get very sued by Netflix.
I didn't say the words. You said the words.
What, queefing?